Hey true believers, this is Dr. T and welcome to my comic book channel. This is part 1 of my entire CGC 9.8 collection. Stay tuned. Please consider smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel, and if you're really enjoying today's content, press that notification bell. In this video, I'm going to be showing 36 of the 76 books in my collection that are CGC 9.8s. So let's get started first with some DC books. Here is Batman number 0 from 2012. The New 52 was my opportunity to get into DC books, which I had never done before. And once they rebooted the New 52 after the original reboot with the New 52, I was like, well, oh well. So I went hard for these books for a little while and have a small collection of these books. So this is the first one. Here is Batman number 1 from the New 52. This is the third printing. And I sent both of these books in raw, and they came back 9.8s years ago. Same with this one, Batman number 1 in a CGC 9.8. Sent this one in myself as well. The price was pretty high on this one, well over $200, and now it's well under $200. But I have this book, and the idea of these New 52 books that I'm going to be showing are that they are going to go eventually with New 52 based action figures that I bought. I got the Batman, the Wonder Woman, the Superman, the Aquaman, a Shazam from San Diego Comic-Con, I think I have a Martian Manhunter, and I think I have a Green Arrow as well. So I bought a bunch of these New 52 action figures that were supposed to go on display at some point with these books. I have an Action Comics. This is the fourth printing with the sketch cover, Action Comics 1 from the New 52. Notice all the old labels on these. So here's Superman number 1, New 52. Wonder Woman number 1, New 52. And the reason a lot of these books are a little blurrier because these are all in the poly bags versus the Mylar, and I have a video showcasing Mylar versus poly bags. Eventually I'll get all of these in Mylar as well, but I just haven't done that. Here's Flash number 1, and these were all purchased on eBay. The Wonder Woman, this Flash cover, the one before the Wonder Woman, the Superman 9.8. These are all eBay purchases from several years ago. Aquaman number 1. Lots of New 52 stuff. And I plan on keeping these just to display them with those really neat action figures that I have. Here's the Justice League number 1. Here's Justice League number 5. That's right, I do have a Cyborg figure as well. So I bought this book specifically to go with the Cyborg action figure so they could go side by side on a wall one day. This was a Jim Lee signature series book that I got. I purchased a book from this seller again years ago, and he included this book for free in my purchase. I don't even remember what book I purchased in order to get this, and this copy was so nice. I sent it in to get signed by Jim Lee, and so I'm really glad I got this book. I like the cover. It's a nice cover. Nice Superman smooching up in the sky with Wonder Woman, and has the nice silver pen signature from Jim Lee. Yeah, that was signed in July 2014. Another Jim Lee signature series. This is the San Diego Comic-Con edition of Superman Unchained number 1, and the Jim Lee signature there on the cover as well. Nice to have a couple Jim Lee signatures in the collection. And then here is JLA Avengers number 1. It's a wraparound cover. And there's the back. And now the remaining books are all Wolverine CGC 9.8s with one 9.8 CBCS book in the mix. So here is Wolverine The Origin number 1. That came out in 2002. When these books came out, they were hot books because Obviously, it was going to tell the origin story of Wolverine. I remember being at San Diego Comic-Con in 2012 and buying this book raw for $30, and it was not a high grade. And I didn't know anything about grading at that time. I just saw that book and missed out buying it when it was at an LCS and thought this is my chance to get it. So I think I bought the whole set 1 through 6 raw. But all of these books that I'm going to show were purchased on eBay. So there's Wolverine the Origin #1. I have 2 copies of this book, and of course this one. I need to tell CGC when I purchased this book, it got sent to me with that hair right there at the top above the R, and I've always meant to send it in to get it reslabbed, but I have 2 copies of that. Here's Wolverine the Origin #2. I bought all of these in a complete set together. All 6 of them came. I think I purchased all 6. There's #3 for $200. Not a bad price. These books you can buy pretty cheap. If you're a big Wolverine fan, you can buy these books on the cheap. There's #4. #5. #6. And now get into some different books. This is the facsimile, so the reprint, 2019 reprint of Hulk 181, but not a bad pickup just to have that cover art. And I like these reprints because they have the actual back as it was in 1974. I've been thinking about selling some books to buy a Hulk 181. I'd have to sell a few of my bigger books in order to do that, but it's hard to pull the trigger to get rid of books that I love to buy the Hulk 181, but I have so much Wolverine stuff because I'm a big Wolverine fan that it's really tempting to do that. Here is the sketch cover. This was of Wolverine 66 Volume 2, so this is the first appearance of Old Man Logan. Nice cover. The blank cover on the back. Here is Wolverine #66, the regular cover, the first printing. Again, first Old Man Logan, with the artwork on the back as well. If you have never read that story, you need to pick that up in a trade paperback or something, because that is one of my favorites ever. And here is Wolverine Old Man Logan #71. And I have others in 9.6s, a few others that are 9.6, but these are the only 3 that I have of this story in 9.8. I would love one day to have all of them in a 9.8. Here is Wolverine #1, the first issue in his own series from 1988. I bought this book for $90 probably 6 or 7 years ago, and of course now it's way above that, so I'm glad I got this when I did. I had a 9.6 that I bought raw. I had that graded. I kept that for a few years. Then I sold it, took that money to get this upgrade, and the upgrade was only another $40 or so. So I'm really glad I have this with the nice artwork on the back. Of course, his face covered with the blue tape. And then Wolverine #2 in a 9.8, classic Wolverine versus the Silver Samurai cover with the pinup on the back. I do not have 3 or 4, but eventually I'll pick those up. Ooh, I do have, this is issue #5. I do have issue #3 off at ERAW 212 right now for pressing. When I get that back, I'm going to send it in. I'm hoping it comes back a 9.8. It could be a 9.6, but I'm really hoping it's a 9.8. So here is issue 5 with the pinup art on the back. Issue #6 in the 9.8. I'm trying to get the first 10 issues all in a 9.8, so I need 3, 4, and 9. Here's #7. And for some reason, this did not come with a pinup on the back. Look at that, just a bike advertisement. Schwinn, Schween, and there's that. And then here, classic Wolverine cover, Wolverine #8, beautiful copy. I had a 9.6 of this also that I had sent in raw. Then I sold that, upgraded to this, and I think I bought this for $90 or $100 as well. And of course, it's worth way more than that now with the pinup on the back. Here is the only CBCS copy of these. And this is the number 10. This is the first battle between Wolverine and Sabretooth. And because this came out before Wolverine The Origin, 1 through 6, this says Sabretooth battles Wolverine before he had claws. But of course we learn in Wolverine The Origin he always had claws. But when this book came out in 1989, we didn't know that. So the writers were just going along with that tall tale since 1974 that Wolverine had those claws put in, especially once we get the Weapon X origin and then that pinup on the back. Here are the last 6 books. Here's Wolverine number 17. Great, I think a classic Wolverine cover right there. Just really stunning Wolverine artwork there with the reddish background, just really stunning. And then classic Jim Lee art here, Wolverine 27, another great Wolverine cover. Nice book. I bought these books when they were, between $50 and $60 for those. Amazing. Wolverine 75, look at that nice hologram from the Fatal Attraction storyline after Magneto ripped the adamantium out of Wolverine's body here. This issue from 1993. Then here's a Signature Series book. This is Death of Wolverine number 1. This is the Desert Wind Comics edition with the signatures by Charles Soule and Herb Trimpe. Glad I have this book for the Trimpe signature especially. This book is fairly hot right now just because of it doesn't show up very often on eBay, but What If 31, what if Wolverine had killed the Hulk? So I bought this also, I think, for only $90, and now this goes for a few $100s. So glad to have this book. These two go nicely together. And then the last book of this batch, Marvel Team Up, number 117, Spider-Man and Wolverine. Look how huge those claws are drawn on that cover. And look how round in the middle Spider-Man kind of is. Maybe not too round. It's just kind of funny artwork, but it goes together if you want a nice Spidey and Wolverine team-up book. So that's nice right there. Thanks for tuning in to this video, true believers. And as always, remember, comics for life.